Hey, I'm Elektron, and today is our Bassjackers day. I'm going to show you how to make a Bassjackers style drop. And let's focus in on the kick and the lead today, because it's probably going to take us a minute. So for the kick, I like to use any kick just to try out different attacks of the kick. So our kick's going to have two parts to it. It's going to have the front attack of the kick, and then it's going to have the big sub bass on the end. And we're going to do two things to kind of build this kick. We're going to make the sub bass out of a synthesizer, and we're going to get the kick just from a sample. I'm getting my kick from Splice, but there's a ton of free samples for, when it comes to kicks. You can go on Google and search free house music samples, free big room house kicks. Like, you can do anything like that. Hyperbits.com or hyperbitsmusic.com, something like that. He gives away free awesome kicks. So this part's easy, just getting the kick. But we have all this stuff here. I need to get rid of all this stuff in the back, because all I want is right here. Now you can do anything. You can get a fade tool and fade it all out, so you can end up with something like this. And we could do that, or you could use Nicky Romero's Kickstart plugin, which I'm actually going to use for the sub bass, to kind of give you a different alternative of what we could use. So let's get our sub bass out here. This part's the hard part, because you got to make this stuff like awesome. You got to make this sub bass huge. Now we have to shape this and make it very subby. Let's see if we can get down an octave. We want to be in the lowest octave we could be. That's going to be too low, so we can't use that. Alright, so this is going to have to work for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a strong low pass filter. And for some reason our volume's down. So let's start working with this. Now I want to sort of shape the sub bass. Okay, that's working. So now what I'm going to do is compress this. Now if I were making this kick for myself, I'd use a multi-band compressor here. And the reason for a multi-band compressor is we can, oh, that's got some nice distortion on it. So this whatever you call it, compressor, is actually adding some nice distortion on it. Forget what I was saying though. I really apologize for that. Now I'm gonna add a sidechaining plugin, just because if I were to sidechain with a compressor, it would be less important. So this may or may not work, because what I need to do is move the sub bass around every time I have this short kick hitting. Let's go like this. Something like that. And what I'm going to do now is really focus in on mixing the short kick with this sub bass to make it, you know, even, because you're not done yet. This actually like really horribly mixed right now. It's because I didn't mix it. So you can't just call it quits yet, because you have a lot of work to do at this point. Because we got this huge kick here that's kind of peaking. We want to go do something like this, kind of like even them out. Now what I'm going to do is I have two options. I can throw some overdrive on the sub bass, or I can overdrive both of them by going like this. Let's go bounce in place. So if I look at the levels, they look relatively even. But this is where you have to be careful because you can really smother the short kick. The short kick doesn't have much to it, so just keep that in mind when you're doing this. That sounds like a nice fat kick. Okay, so for the second part of this video, we have to create a powerful lead. And a lot of this is just really powerful plugins that make a lead sound like this. I struggled to use Logic plugins to make something as big and loud as that lead is, however. So I will be using third-party plugins, but not too insane. I'm only really using Serum and Kickstart, and then the other plugins are free. And so I will use Serum to make this lead. So let's go into Serum. I already started piecing together a melody. It sounds like that, but I'm going to restart it just really quick just so I can show you guys how to do this. So to make this lead, we need to keep our square wave here and jack up our unison and retune it down to this, position. And then we need to make that nasally little pulse wave. We could probably, let's try that one first. Let me see what it sounds like with just it. And we need to do the same thing here. Yeah, that one will work. Okay, so now we're going to have two waves that look like this. And then what we need to do is we need to turn on mono and put our pour de time a little bit slower so we can get this nice bend here. And to get that bend, looks like that. I just layer the leads until they, give me what I'm going for. So now what I'm going to do is add my plugins of choice to just add that much more power. One of them is a multiband compressor called OTT, and this is free. And just adds a little bit of size to it, adds a little bit of attack as well. Now I'm going to use Space Designer with this preset. It's a nice preset. It's actually not bad at all. And then I EQ'd it to sound like that. And of course, probably the most important, a Kickstarter which will sidechain it. And this plugin was really, really cheap. And it's like definitely the best option for sidechaining 128 BPM, I think, in my opinion. So let's keep writing this lead out, and then we will go and write some layers for this lead. Mind you, this won't be the same exact melody as that song I did show you, but the point of it is to get this lead as close as we can to the original. I actually forgot a step on adding size to this lead. I'm going to go to distortion and then diode. That's way too much. I didn't get that effect the last time, so that's kind of weird. Let's just add a little bit of diode for now. Maybe we can do like a little stutter thing here. So we could do something like that. And what I'm thinking right now is our lead still can gain a little bit of size. So the way I want to gain size right now is by strategically layering this lead. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one with a little less reverb, and this will be the lead that I give some stereo enhancement to with some hyper dimension and whatever. I don't know 100% what the point of this is, but what it does is it adds width, and like I can hear it in my ears. I don't need dimension gets really crazy, so don't overdo that. And then we could go ahead and add another layer, and we need this layer to be special for something. So let me just go ahead and listen to what we have so far. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. We could definitely add some size, but I don't really think the size is much in this. It's not as much in the leads as it is in the bass, because I could definitely add some more size to that bass line. And then let's go here real quick and see if we can add a different melody, or not a different melody, just see what these leads sound like down an octave. Okay, cool. That actually sounds really cool. But there is one more part of this lead that I want to show you that I think is very, very crucial when we're making big room house leads.
He got out.
Did you get him?
Yeah.
Good. Alright. So now what we're going to do is initialize our preset, turn off that oscillator, and all we're going to use here is some bright white noise. And we have to go into our envelope here, and we're going to modulate this filter here. We're going to make this like a really attacky sound, and we're going to do as strong of a low pass filter as we could. Alright, and so right now it's kind of a worthless sound, and the reason for that is, let me get rid of this. That's actually going to help us, never mind. Let's come back up here. And right there is a nice transient that you could definitely make good use of. So I'm going to get rid of these that are kind of sitting on top, because they're not going to give us any value up there. And right there, it just makes it so much more punchier. Right there, yeah, that's awesome. And so you could definitely add a couple more layers, but that's the basic idea of what I think, of how I think you should really move forward with a beat like this. Now, if I was making this kind of like a track that I would soon release, so like really putting everything into it, I'd probably have more layers, maybe a different sound just to fill up the size of the lead. I'd have a little bit more going on with the bass, maybe throw a little bit of high-end just artifacts on the bass, and it will all add to, you know, making this stuff sound that much more powerful. So there you go, guys. I think I really covered what I wanted to cover. My name's Alex Rome, and until next time, stay tuned for more dope stuff.